Oh, here we go. Superman 2. Superman 2. Where's my minstrels? Oh, bollocks! Hey up, Rayvers. Yeah, why am I in the cinema? Well, basically Denise is baking a birthday cake for my grandson. And I'm not allowed in the house when she's doing it. Because apparently I can't be trusted. Apparently I'm going to stick my finger in it or lick it or something like that. So yeah, she's booted me out. And I wrote the legendary Terence Stamp sadly passed away the other week. So I thought, why not pay tribute by taking a look at one of his most iconic roles, that of General Zod in Superman 2. Now, I never saw Superman 2 at the cinema. Any of you regular ravers who are familiar with Ruttle family folklore may remember that I did take my kids to see it at the pictures. But while I was buying the tickets, Dean pointed to a poster of American Werewolf in London and told my daughter Maxine that we were seeing that. Understandably, Maxine went into a little bit of a panic. She didn't want to watch what looked to her like a horrific werewolf film. So she was distraught, she was wailing. Yeah, bless her, she was making a bit of a scene in the cinema. So everybody looking at us had to check them out, we had to go home. Cost me £3. But it were only years after I found out it was Dino's fault. Stupid bleeder. And Road served him right, didn't it? Yeah, we missed out because he was being a shit. And Road, I did eventually get to see it. It would have been on ITV at Christmas one year or something. But I think I've only seen it the once, maybe twice. Couldn't remember a whole lot about it other than Terence Stamp's performance as General Zod, which, most memorable thing about it. But it opens on Krypton, Superman's own planet. And this chap is guarding these crystals, including a very striking red crystal. Not sure of the significance of it at all. Now, it's obviously important enough to have a guard guarding it, but security does seem pretty lax because these folk just wander in. And Terence Stamp, as General Zod, he grabs the red crystal, has a bit of a look at it. Oh, look, it shines his face up nice there. And then he promptly snaps it. There we go. Whatever that was, it's knackered now. But as soon as he snaps it, him and his two mates get imprisoned by these intergalactic hula hoops. And a load of disembodied heads pronounce them guilty of something or other. And as punishment, they are banished by being squished onto a flying vinyl LP. Very clever how they do that. I'm not sure how that works, but yeah. Off they float into deeper space. Looks a little bit like a Queen album cover, doesn't it, that? Except Queen don't look quite so distressed. Now, we then get the main titles mixed in with a load of flashbacks from Superman 1. I'll give you a bit of a recap of what's happened. And it takes ages, but you don't really mind because it's accompanied by John Williams' brilliant Superman theme. He's done some belting themes, John Williams, ain't it? Absolutely brilliant. Some all-time great themes. But it might be his best one, Superman. Although, this ain't his version of it. Because apparently somebody else did the music. And you can tell, it ain't as good as Superman 1. This version plods a little bit, I think. It ain't as good as John Williams' version. But yeah, it's a minor quibble. And Clark Kent turns up at the Daily Planet, his newspaper offices, and Christopher Reeve, he is brilliant at playing him as a sort of clumsy oaf, isn't he? Whilst at the same time doing brilliant stuff like that nobody notices. Always enjoy watching Reeve as Clark Kent. Very, very good. But it turns out there's some terrorist thing cracking off in Paris.
The hostages?
Yeah, tourists. About 20 of them.
Yeah, but that's just Penny Andy stuff.
These guys claim that if the French government doesn't meet their demands, they've got a hydrogen bomb ready to level Paris.
So he legs it and does a quick change into his Superman costume and pops up at the Eiffel Tower, where a bunch of terrorists are threatening to blow a load of hostages up. And the bomb maker is Richard Griffiths. Looking quite svelte there, Richard Griffiths, isn't he? Must be one of his younger roles, his earlier roles. Anyway, also there is Lois Lane, intrepid reporter Lois Lane. She's in the thick of it. And naturally, she gets herself in a bit of bother. And Superman saves the day.
I believe this is your floor.
Now, as much as I love the bumbling Clark Kent, I find Superman a bit insufferable. He's just too bloody perfect, isn't he? A bit of a cocky arsehole. Anyway, after saving Lois Lane, he flies the nuclear bomb out into space, where it can blow up safely and not do any damage to anybody or anything. No consequences whatsoever. Oh, hang on. The shockwaves blow the vinyl LP prison up, and General Zod and his mates escape. Now, unfortunately for us humans, they're in gobbing distance of the moon. And when they arrive on the moon, we see they've got the same superhuman qualities, what Superman's got. And so they absolutely wreck the joint. Much to the confusion of Shane Rimmer and Cliff from Cheers at NASA headquarters. Now, General Zod, he's a smart cookie. He deduces what's going on.
The closer we come to an atmosphere with only one sun, a yellow sun, the more our molecular density gives us unlimited powers.
They come from there, a place called Houston.
Then we will go there too, to rule.
Crikey, that escalated quickly. So off they fly to Houston. You'll notice there, gravity has made a reappearance on the moon. When he chucks them flags down, they don't float, do they? No. If that ain't already, get that on IMDb under their goofs section, shouldn't you? Yeah. And rode off they fly to Earth. Now, I think they missed a joke here. I thought when the fisherman bloke sees him walking on water, I thought he was going to say, Jesus Christ, in a comedic way. You know, I thought that would have been a clever joke, given the situation. Admittedly, he does do a double take, looking at his coffee. You know, that's not bad, but I think they could have made it a bit better. Maybe it were deemed blasphemous, and that's why they didn't put it in. Anyway, yeah, the baddies soon realise they've got the same super-duper powers here that they had on the moon.
Did you see what I did? I have powers beyond reason here.
We all have them, my dear.
Yeah, so they've got all the same powers as Superman. They've all got the Krypton factor. Yeah, I used to enjoy the Krypton Factor on RTV, presented by Gordon Burns. For those who ain't seen it, it's a game show designed to find Britain's Superman or Superwoman, featuring loads of Joe and Jane blogs off the street. You'd have an accountant from Swindon taking on a teacher from Northumberland, something like that.
And Tony McElvogue is 25, a computer programmer from Liverpool.
25? Jesus Christ. Sorry, apologies. Tony McElvogue's had a tough paper round. Anyway, they compete across a range of different challenges. General knowledge challenges, mental agility challenges, whatever this challenge is. And of course my favourite bit, the physical challenge of the assault course. Now, they had staggered starts on that to make it fair, although I'm not sure exactly how they worked out the staggers.
And Tony McElvogue sets off last because he's the youngest in the field. He's a civil servant, a computer programmer, in fact, with the Home Office.
He might be the youngest, but he ain't the fittest, is he, Tony McElvogue? He needs to get off his arse and do a nickel less computer programming and a little bit more exercise, I reckon. Now, these three ain't Tony McElvogue. They've all got the same superpowers as Superman, but they're intent on using them for evil, like smashing up Clifton James's police car. I don't know whether or not he's playing exactly the same character as he did in the Bond films, but certainly looks the same.
What are you? Some kind of doomsday machine, boy?
Now, after causing a bit of havoc, General Zod and his mates drop in at the White House, and they demand that the President of the United States kneel before Zod. That's a wig, isn't it? Definitely a wig. That's a proper hair helmet, that. Anyway, the President takes the knee, But what the bloody hell's Superman doing when all this is cracking off? Well, undercover as a married couple, Clark Kent and Lois Lane are up at Niagara Falls pursuing a story about something or other. And quite how ace reporter Lois Lane ain't twigged that Clark Kent is Superman is a bit beyond me. You really have to suspend your disbelief. I mean, all he's done is put a pair of specs on and parted his hair the other side. I mean, he could at least have got one of them Groucho Marx disguise kits or something, couldn't he? But no, she's useless. She can't tell that Clark Kent is Superman. Although when his spectacles come off, she starts to have some suspicions. And these suspicions are raised further when a nickel lad falls off the railings into the Niagara Falls. And who should come to rescue him? Superman! I tell you what, it's a bloody long fall though. I set the timer from when the kid fell off the railings to when Superman grabs him. 28.68 seconds. You'd fall about 3 miles in that time. I don't know why Superman wasted his time with him. He'd already warned him. If the daft sod wants to play silly buggers on some railings, then good luck to him, fend for your sen, fella. Any road, Lois has twigged that whenever Superman's knocking about, Clark Kent, he can't be found. They're never in the same room together. And despite his best efforts and his protestations, the clumsy oaf trips over, puts his hand in the fire, and the secret is out. Lois Lane's suspicions are correct. Clark Kent is indeed Superman. I mean, what do you want, a Pulitzer Prize for that, love? It was bleeding obvious. You should have gone to Specsavers. But now that his secret is out, Superman can finally be with Lois Lane. And he takes her to his wintry palace, the Fortress of Solitude, where he wines and dines her. And after they've had a bit of nosh, he makes a huge sacrifice that will have serious ramifications.
Then if this is what you wish, if you intend to live your life with a mortal, you must live as a mortal.
So Superman undergoes what looks a very painful process to become a mere mortal, involving lots of dodgy special effects. And it's a massive sacrifice, giving up his superpowers. But he does get to have his end away, so, he's probably happy with that decision. But the problem for Clark Kent now is that instead of being Superman, he's now just a weedy bloke, just like the rest of us.
I think maybe we ought to hire a bodyguard from now on.
I don't want a bodyguard. I want the man I fell in love with.
Yeah, she fell in love with Superman, but she's now stuck with Tony McElvogue. And then to make matters worse, a bloodied and battered Clark Kent sees the emergency announcement from the president on the TV.
Superman, can you hear me? Superman, what?
Who is this Superman?
You'll find out, General. And when you do...
Come to me, Superman. If you dare, I defy you. Come and kneel before Zod.
But Superman doesn't exist anymore. I'm not convinced that Tony McElvogue is going to be enough to stop General Zod's world domination. Although, he doesn't seem to be doing a lot there, does he, Zod? He doesn't seem to be doing a lot of dominating. He just looks a bit bored. Oh, yeah. Gene Hackman. I ain't even mentioned him yet. He's in this as Lex Luthor. But he doesn't really do a lot. He's brilliant actor as Gene Hackman. And he's still very good in this, but he just seems wasted. It's like they didn't really have an idea of how to use him. It felt like this film has had loads of rewrites, and his part must have shrunk down, because I can't believe he'd sign up for this, because he didn't really have a lot to do. Must have paid him a lot. But he teams up with the baddies, and the question remains, will Superman return to save the day? Well, yeah, of course he does. Now, it's directed by Richard Lester, this, who I know from doing the Beatles films, a couple of Beatles films, which were more mess than it, to be honest with you. And he's definitely a fan of trying to shoehorn some slapstick gags in. This scene where Zod and his mates are blowing the citizens of Metropolis all over its shop. Yeah, he's just using it as an excuse to get jokes in. Some of them are a bit daft, to be honest with you. But as I say, Christopher Reeve in his Clark Kent form, I find him so entertaining. I think he's just very lovably oafish. I have a lot of fun watching him. And Margot Kidder is very good as Lois Lane, I think. Makes a very believable, ruthless reporter. You know, happily tread on toes to get the story. Very good. Though she smokes like a bloody chimney. She reminded me of Margie's sisters, I think, in The Simpsons. But yeah, I reckon it's Terence Stamp who steals the show as General Zod. Zod. Very charismatic and a very memorable villain.
Kneel before Zod!
Okeydoo, on to Ray's ratings. Well, yeah, I'm not a massive superhero film fan, but I did enjoy the first Superman with Christopher Reeve. I thought that was good. I thought he was great in it. So, yeah, I'm hoping for a 3-star film. Yeah, it's pretty much what I got. You know, it weren't brilliant, but, yeah, it rackled along. Yeah, it was good fun. It was good fun. Christopher Reeve was great. Terence Stamp, scene stealing as General Zod. Margot Kidder, she was great and all. So, yeah, it was entertaining. I was entertained. So I'm rating Superman 2 a 3-star film. Oh, yes, here we go. Oh, let's just lick some ice in. Nobody will notice if I just lick a little bit of ice in. Yeah. Oh! Oh no, not the hula hoops!
Raymondo Ruttle, you stand accused of trying to nick some of your grandson's chocolate cake.
I was just going to lick a little bit of ice in, that were all. I weren't going to nick any.
Tough titties, you have been found guilty.
No! Oh no! No! Hey! Oh, bollocks! Well, I hope you enjoyed my review of Superman 2 Rayvers. And if you did, poke the old like button for me. Give it a good old poke. Maybe you could set off a nuclear weapon as well to release me from my vinyl LP prison. And remember to share our reviews with your mates and subscribe to the channel if you ain't already a subscriber. Much appreciated. As are all them great comments you lot keep popping on. Thanks ever so much for them. I'm starting to feel a bit queasy here. All this spinning round. I might throw up if I ain't careful here. Oh dear. Deadline for entry into the 2025 race night season is now gone, but you can still come and join us over on Patreon. There's still loads of other exclusive benefits to be had. I'll pop a link in the description below. Yeah, better wrap up before I throw up here. Copyright box permitting, I'll be back with another review for you very soon. So I will see you next time. Okeydoo!